This is KNWA News at 10.
A candlelight vigil is honoring the victim of a devastating Fayetteville shooting. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kelly O'Neill. The vigil was held tonight in memory of former Fayetteville High School student Elizabeth Alexis Dawson. Dawson, who was just 20 years old, was shot and killed in a Fayetteville shooting earlier this month. The vigil was held on the 900 block of Leverett Avenue, which is where the shooting occurred. 22-year-old Dakota Harvey faces charges of capital murder and attempted capital murder. Police say Harvey shot two people earlier this month following an argument at an apartment complex on Leverett Avenue in Fayetteville. A report states he shot his ex-girlfriend in the leg and Dawson in the chest, killing her. After an hours-long manhunt and 3-hour standoff at a Springdale apartment complex, Harvey eventually surrendered himself to police and SWAT officers. Now, according to the Pentagon and Arkansas National Guard, Harvey served in a field artillery unit out of Rogers until he was honorably discharged last year. Courtney Willie was in a 2-year relationship with Harvey until the night of the shooting, the breakup sparking Harvey to fire shots at Willie and her new girlfriend. Willie believes he was medically discharged and says his outbursts were no surprise to her. Looking ahead, Washington County voters will be heading to the polls to decide on a multi-million-dollar bond issue in a special election. If approved, a combined $50 million of the $226 million generated would go towards police and firefighting facility improvements. I sat down with both city departments to see why that money is needed.
We're in desperate need of the fire stations.
7 fire stations are spread across the city of Fayetteville, but there's gaps in their locations that Assistant Fire Chief Brad Harden says needs to be fixed.
This is going to distribute, it's going to give us a better distribution across the city. What we're shooting for is 4 minutes of travel time. After we get these stations added, we should have pretty much 90% of the addresses inside the city limits will be covered.
In April, special election will decide if the city of Fayetteville will extend its 1-cent sales tax to raise money for a variety of projects. $15 million would go towards 3 new fire stations and 3 new fire trucks.
We want to maintain our ISO 1 rating, which is the best in the nation. We're going to need to get these stations put in.
Over at the Fayetteville Police Department, Sergeant Anthony Murphy says space is tight.
We've been in this building since 1993. The City of Fayetteville Police Department had 93 employees in 1993. In turn, now I believe we have 180 employees, something like that, and we're inside the same building.
If approved, the bond measure would set aside $35 million for a new 55,000 square foot police headquarters.
You know, it'd be nice to be able to have, classes for the citizens out there where they can come and have a public forum and, an auditorium type area where we could interact with citizens.
Both agencies agreeing that the city of Fayetteville isn't going to get any smaller and they're only going to get busier.
I think it's extremely important for not just the police department, but the people of Fayetteville, because as the city grows, our police department's going to need to grow.
It'd be a big relief for us to have that funding.
In Fayetteville, I'm Kelly O'Neill. Again, this bond referendum would not be a new cost to taxpayers, but an extension of the city's 1-penny sales tax. Early voting will be held on April 8th at the Washington County Clerk's office on College Avenue. You can see a full list of polling locations on our website, nwahomepage.com. The city of Mountainburg also hopes to create more space for its first responders after outgrowing its fire station. Mayor Susan Wilson says the city has hired architects to design a new fire station at the end of town. Right now, the Mountainburg Fire Station is attached to the City Hall building in a space that's not adequate for their firefighters. Around Arkansas, the natural state is feeling lucky after casino gaming gets the green light to start next month in Garland and Crittenden County. Starting next month, the commission gave the go to Oaklawn and Hot Springs and Southland in West Memphis to start casino gaming. Then the next month, May, is a time they'll accept casino license applications. That could impact Pope and Jefferson counties. The commission will accept casino license applications in May.
That's incredible. It's about time that they finally allowed live gaming back in Arkansas.
Southland Gaming Racing has already set up dozens of tables for their live gaming to begin next month. Well, all new at 10, special counsel Robert Mueller did not find Donald Trump's presidential campaign conspired with Russia during the 2016 election. There's mixed reaction from members of the Congress to the Attorney General's letter. Some are celebrating and others are intensifying their calls for the full report to be made public. NBC's Casey Hunt has more from Capitol Hill.
Republicans in Congress tonight triumphant. No collusion and no obstruction. Senator Lindsey Graham writing on Twitter, the cloud hanging over President Trump has been removed by this report. Republican leader Kevin McCarthy saying in a statement, quote, this case is closed. But tonight, Democratic leaders questioning the integrity of Attorney General William Barr after Mueller didn't reach a conclusion about whether the president obstructed justice. But Barr and Deputy Rod Rosenstein decided the president should not be prosecuted for obstruction. Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi writing in a statement, quote, given Mr. Barr's public record of bias against the special counsel's inquiry, he is not a neutral observer and is not in a position to make objective determinations about the report.
And the Mueller report must be made public for a full accounting of what happened, and the Attorney General of the United States must be required to come and testify before Congress.
House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler already announcing tonight he plans to call Barr to testify before Congress. Just because the Mueller investigation has concluded doesn't mean the investigations stop on Capitol Hill. The Senate Intelligence Committee is wrapping up its investigation into Russian interference in the election. But the House Intelligence Committee will continue looking into the president's connections to Russia. And the House Judiciary Committee is already investigating potential obstruction of justice, political corruption, and abuses of power. Democrats Friday sending letters to 9 government agencies demanding they preserve any documents related to the probe.
We know there are lots of investigations going on, and by other agencies, the Southern District of New York, the Eastern District of Virginia, etc., and there may be indictments from them, so the story is not over.
And still demands from both sides of the aisle to see the full report made public. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell saying he looks forward to seeing more information. Arkansas Congressman Steve Womack is speaking out about special counsel Robert Mueller's report, saying in part, I'm glad the investigation is over and the American people can know the truth, no collusion and no obstruction. This was nothing more than a political witch hunt from day one. It was both extensive and expensive. It's time to move on. Arkansas Attorney General Leslie Rutledge also took to Twitter to issue her response, saying special counsel's report confirms no collusion or coordination with Russia in the 2016 election. Now, America, it's time to focus on the future of our great nation and work with President Donald Trump to solve real problems with real solutions. Well, people often call music a universal language. A look at the man who's mastered many dialects. That's coming up. But first, Melissa.
Well, Kelly, we've been tracking a slow-moving cold front through the day. We'll talk about the threat of severe weather and when you can expect it to be out of our area when we return.
Closed captioning is sponsored